The wonderful world of e-commerce, seemingly pumping out millionaires left and right. Dropshipping.
Dropshipping can change your goddamn life.
And this influx of people entering the e-commerce world has allowed one company to rise to the top. Because at the end of the day, when they make money, this entity makes money. This is the story of how Shopify took over the new generation of e-commerce. And it all started in 2004 in Canada with 3 founders. And specifically, the person I want to talk about is Tobias Lute. Close enough. These 3 guys wanted to sell snowboarding gear on the internet, obviously. And back in 2004, the internet was still quite new, only out for a couple years. Back then, e-commerce platforms to create your websites and run your online businesses were quite primitive. So being a programmer himself, Tobias took it into his own hands to create his own e-commerce platform for his snowboarding business called Snow Devil. Eventually, he would see the potential in the platform itself. And 2 years later, in 2006, Shopify would be founded. And throughout the years, Shopify has grown and shown success in the e-commerce world, helping entrepreneurs and business owners create their online stores easier than ever. Shopify has done a lot of significant things in the e-commerce world, especially with their point of sale system. Shopify has been known as one of the best places to set up your online store, and especially if you wanted upon a dropshipping video or two.
Shopify e-commerce business.
Shopify would be the place to get that shit done, especially if you don't know how to code, which I also believe is a very essential skill in the future, especially with all the AI taking over. What is dropshipping, you may ask? Well, I'll tell you. When you're dropshipping, you're pretty much acting as the middleman between orders. Where if a customer orders something on your store, you would then buy that product right then and there from a third-party manufacturer. And you wouldn't actually have the merchandise or inventory at hand at all. You would pretty much just contact them and just resell it. You basically act as a glorified marketing service and advertiser for manufacturers out there. But according to YouTube, it is quite a lucrative venture, as you can make a lot of money doing so. But the chances of your specific store being successful is about 10% on Shopify, which is not bad numbers, to be honest. So out of 10 stores, 1 is going to be successful. And honestly, at that point, it's just based on your creativity. You can create your store based off of anything. You can have inventory, not have inventory. You can drop ship. You can sell things from your store. It's up to your imagination at that point, right? And Shopify provides that platform to do so. And by the way, I'm not sponsored by Spotify. I'm just very curious about this one platform that has created so much millionaires, according to YouTube. And with all this money they're generating, how does Shopify itself make money? Well, according to Google, there's 2 ways. Their subscription service and transaction/merchant fees. But overall, their subscription service only provides about 27% of their overall revenue for 2022. The real moneymaker are the transactions and processing fees. That counts for about 73% of the revenue in 2022. Last year, Shopify reported about $5.6 billion in revenue. And over the course of their 17-year-long history, the total revenue they accrued was about $650 billion. And currently, they own about 10% of the e-commerce platform market. To continue with their story, Shopify would go public in 2015 with a valuation about $131 million. Not too shabby. That same day, their stock would grow about 51%. So, I mean, if you do the math, future Antonio, that would be their value after the end of the day. And over the years, Shopify has been quite volatile according to their stock performance. For example, their offering price at IPO was about $17, and their peak in 2022 was about, $1,300 per share. And then they realized how expensive that would be to like normal investors and consumers just looking to invest in their company. That's why recently they had set up a 10-to-1 stock split that, increase the amount of shares out there for people. And when obviously basic economics, if you increase the supply, the price goes down, right? And so it did. Until this day, the creator and founder of Shopify, Tobias, would still lead the company as CEO and would own 6% of the company still. Tobias himself is worth about $3.3 billion. So he's pretty much good for the rest of his life. And I bet the CEO paycheck is pretty damn good as well. And Tobias being the CEO, he did a pretty damn good job, because as of April 2023, Shopify has helped over 4.4 million online businesses get started. And right now, Shopify is worth about $81 billion. So good job, Tobias. Good shit. Those Canadians really go hard in business, huh? And with the recent better than expected earnings reports and tightening of the budgets through layoffs, their stock has went up quite a bit. A system that draws entrepreneurs and workers to come to your company and pay you to make money for you is an almost ingenious business model that was probably done coincidentally with the type of platform it would become. Overall, Spotify is really doing its thing in the e-commerce space and has revolutionized the ease in which people would create and run online businesses, which is why so many creators and online influencers would flock to Shopify to run their operations. And as more people gain that entrepreneurial fire, Shopify will be there to reap the benefits.